So here's my little review of the Frontier stove. This one I've had for quite some time. It's a very useful stove, and because I've had it for some time, I've lived with it for a bit. That's why I'm happy to do a review on it. So it can be quite tricky to light initially, because getting in there to light things is a bit fiddly, but once it's going, as you can see, it goes well. This has been going for a little while now. I've cooked my lunch on here, but you can see at the top, hopefully you can see what the flames are doing. They've been drawn all the way back along the top, along the roof, and up the chimney. Now it's a very windy day today. It's windy and it's wet. When you first light this, you will get smoke coming out the door, particularly outside. I mean, if you're not outside, let's say you had it in a little shed or something, not that I'd probably recommend that, but if you did, you probably wouldn't have this problem. But outside you get smoke coming out the door initially, but with it being a windy day, it's really nice, because if I were cooking that food on an open fire or on my fire pit at the camp, I'd have smoke all over me, I'd be covered in it. But because of this long sectional chimney, that takes it away now, because it's burning nice and hot. There's no smoke now, but obviously earlier on it was really quite smoky when it was getting going, and all that smoke, or 90% of that smoke, was going straight up the chimney once the chimney gets warm. Once it is hot, you get very, very little, unless you're feeding in a load, and it's obviously taking a while to get that going, so that reduces the heat inside, and then you'll get a little bit of smoke come out, but it's nothing major. On the chimney you have a damper, so that there just turns it, that's on a damped position. Obviously on your door you've got a little latch here, so you can reduce the airflow. You can also close it down. Obviously it's not a perfect seal, as you can see, but it's good for keeping it in overnight. Turn the damper down, close the door up, and when you wake up in the morning, you'll have sort of embers that you can stir back into life. Don't be thinking you have a fire in there, but you will have good embers that you can stir back into life really easily. Obviously you don't get the same sort of feel of heat from it that you do with an open fire, so you wouldn't use this sort of for warmth, to keep you warm while you were camping overnight necessarily, although you can sit next to it, you can sit close to it, but you wouldn't get the same effect. I mean, if I'm sitting here, I can obviously feel the heat from that. It's nice and warm. I can feel the heat on the side there, that's lovely. This little feature here is a little towel rail, so you can keep a towel, just dry that on there, that's quite good. Now as you can see, there's plenty of space on the top. I've just got a mug of water keeping warm there. Big old kettle, that's more for show really than anything else, but it's like a campfire kettle. But that, it gives you an idea. You can easily get a medium-sized frying pan and like a small kettle, like that sort of thing on there, quite easily together, or a couple of smaller pans if you're doing beans, whatever you're doing. You can have a couple of smaller pans and a small kettle, and you can get it all cooking at once, which is really nice. You can also, because you've got this big flat surface, I'll just move that, you can move things around to the hotter or the cooler parts, which is really nice. Now the chimney on this is, as you can see, it's sectional, so what that does, all those sections will break down, and once this is obviously out and it's cool and it's emptied, you can put the chimney inside there, all of the sections fit in there, and then you've got a carry handle on the side so you can carry it. Obviously it's very, very heavy, I say it's very, very heavy. It's not very, very heavy, but you don't want to be carrying it miles. But you know, if you're carrying it from your car across to the other side of the campsite or something, that's fine. It's no problem at all. Talking of campsites, if you are on an organised site, because it's got decent legs on it, the ground there, no damage at all. Doesn't get hot at all. You know, I can feel heat there about an inch from the bottom. You know, there's nothing there, so you're not going to damage anyone's grass on a campsite or anything like that. You have a little ash pan there, which does help, you know, just catch a few bits. You can buy heat-proof mats for if you're using it inside a tent with a flashing kit. You can get a flashing kit which will run up through your tent. Obviously, I'm just under a tarp today. That chimney is within an inch of that tarp and it hasn't done any damage at all. So that's good. One problem I have had with mine is on these legs. You get a little pin that holds them in place, and it has a ball bearing in there. You can't really see that, but basically they fall out or they get stuck inside. So you know that pin, obviously it locates, but it doesn't sort of stay there 100%. So you need to be a bit careful about that. It's not really a problem, it's just something to live with. So there you go. Open the door, feel the warmth. It's a Frontier stove. They're about, I think, about 140 quid now, something like that. Somewhere around about there. You can get a water heater that fits on the chimney, which I haven't got. But I imagine that's a good idea. I don't imagine it would boil terribly readily. I don't think it would boil very, very quickly because it's a 3 litre capacity and you would need to be chucking a lot of material through. But it would be a very, very useful preheater for a kettle, even if it's only preheating. So that's probably something to look for. I think they come out about £80. I haven't bought one as yet. I may do, but you know, we'll see. It's a nice thing. Obviously, it's made out of steel, and it will rust. Okay, but you could get some stove paint, and you could recoat it. I probably will do mine at some point, but it hasn't got to a point where I'm that worried about it yet. So, I hope you find that useful. Questions, more than welcome. Comments, love to hear them. Subscriptions, oh yes please, let's have some more of those. And all the best. If you get one, enjoy it. If you've got one, I hope you make the most of it, and I hope you found this review useful. Okie dokie. Cheers for now. Bye bye.